I haven't really talked about my experience starting my hair with twists. If you're watching this video, you probably clicked on it because you're interested in knowing about starting your locks with twists, or you currently have locks that you started with twists, and I thought that this would be a great opportunity for me to share my experience with this. I like to dive right into things, but sometimes I'm long-winded and it takes me some time to get to the point. But today I'm going to be telling you about my experience with twist locks, which I started my hair with 2-strand twists that I never took off. I tried to get locks a few years back with the comb coil method, and I realized that my hair would just not hold the lock. My hair would kept unraveling, especially the back, because my hair is two different textures. So my hair is 4C, but the back is a looser wave pattern than the front. It's not as tightly coiled as the front of my hair. So I decided, why not just twist my hair, and that should keep the locks in for a long time and give them enough time to lock. So that's how I ended up with the twist locks. I also wanted my hair to look like it was a style. So I started this new lock journey, and even though I was committed to the journey, I think this was a way for me to back out if I wanted to back out. I did before this get test sister locks along the side of my hair just to see how my hair would respond to it, and they were great. But after having them, I realized that I probably was not a good candidate for sister locks because I wasn't willing to invest the time into them. But I love them, they're beautiful. I always admire those with sister locks. So I wanted smaller locks. I knew I wanted something less traditional, but I also didn't want something as small as sister locks. I also considered micro locks as well. So I ended up with this size, which I don't know. I think somebody told me that I'm in between micro locks and regular locks. I don't even know. They are what they are. So when I had my twist locks, originally they were extremely thin. If you think about when you twist your hair is going to be thin for some time. They really didn't start to thicken up till about, I think, the 1-year mark. There's a point where my hair was so thin. And if I have a picture, I'm gonna insert it here so you can see what it looked like. Starting my hair with twist locks, I feel like was a longer process than comb coils, because with the comb coils, you start to see the budding and you start to see your hair start to tangle up. But with twists, you don't see that right away. Another thing that I experienced with the twists is my hair did not lose the twist pattern till a little bit over a year. So for a while, and I think I've shared this in a different video, where I was asking myself, or I would get questions about, are they twists? Are they locks? There's a point in time where it just felt like, or it probably looked like I didn't know what to do with my hair, because I had these twists in that had stayed for months, and it was very clear that they were twists that had stayed for months. I will say that if you are considering getting twist locks, you're going to have two different patterns once your hair starts to grow out. If you're okay with that, cool. If that's gonna bother you, then that's something to consider, because as your new growth comes in, you can't 2-strand twist your new growth. You're going to have to either twist it the palm roll or twist it the regular way that people twist their locks, or you're going to interlock if you decide to go the route of interlocking your hair. But so far, I think that they fulfilled the purpose that I wanted them to fulfill. I wanted something that would give my hair a fuller appearance, even though my hair ended up looking thin. Once my hair started to fill in, it started to fill in. And as you can see right now, my hair is pretty thick. Something to note about twist locks is the consistency of your locks are not going to be the same throughout your head, which is different from other methods of starting locks. So if you see here, this piece right here was a really small twist. So as your hair begins to lock, you can't tell how thick it's going to get, how much it's going to swell. If you have a desire to have very thick locks, sometimes if you start with thinner 2-strand twists, you might not be able to achieve that. So that's something to keep in mind. My locks ended up getting thicker than I expected them to get, and I've seen where some people's, as they grow out, they get thinner and they don't have that thick appearance anymore. So I showed you that one piece, and then I'll show you, this is another piece. So the difference in size is different. But I will say, like, at the 1.5 year mark, the pattern of the twists faded away. It's no longer there, which was so nice, because for the longest, I honestly thought that the pattern of the twist was not going to go away. For the longest, I just had to be okay with the 2-strand twist, but I thought it was nice. I would highly recommend for somebody who's looking for a way to start your locks that looks like your hair is already styled. I think 2-strand twists are great. Now, a con, which I'll go into detail about this in a different video, is my locks, even though I was trying to avoid my locks from unraveling, they unfortunately ended up unraveling in the back, but it wasn't as bad because all I had to do was just retwist them together. It got really annoying to have to constantly retwist them, but eventually they locked up and I didn't have to do that anymore. I would do things like put rubber bands at the end of the 2-strand twist just to keep it together. And then once I felt like that piece was locking, then I would remove the rubber band. I'm trying to think of what else I did. I think those are the major things. I feel like I had to be more careful washing my hair because it was easier for the piece to split, to unravel. Something else too that I ended up encountering, because I started interlocking my hair, the part that was interlocked was locked. That part was not unraveling. But the ends of my hair that were not locked would unravel until the point of the part of my hair that was interlocked. And that was kind of annoying to have to constantly like retwist that piece together, but for the most part it was great. So I don't even know, this feels like a rambly video, but I did want to share my experience with having twists in my hair. If there are questions, add them below. That's all I have to share about my journey. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in tomorrow's video when we are hitting day 10 of Vlogmas. All right.